Welcome back to another episode of Local Legends. Got Cyle Pool here with me from Evolve Egress and Glass Block headquarters, and then
DNW Home Solutions.
tell us a little bit about what you do. So you've got Evolve Egress, which is what the majority of your work comes from, correct?
Yeah. So Evolve Egress and Exteriors and Glass Block headquarters are the same company.
Right.
Family owned, veteran owned, out of Central Ohio and Cleveland. And we are a glass block company, residential, commercial. We have a glass block division. We have a vinyl windows division, windows and doors, that we mostly do windows. And then we have an egress, so basement fire escapes and walkouts.
Okay.
Code compliance, fire safety for children living in the basement, things like that.
Okay.
That's my bread and butter. And my job there is account management. So business to business referrals, accounts, partnerships, roofing companies, remodelers, sort of anyone in the industry, real estate agents. I also do in-home sales, but that's not my bread and butter. I'm more of a filler there.
Right.
That's my sort of 9 to 5, 7 days a week. Let's grind. And then my family owns DNW Home Solutions. That's a remodeling company out of Delaware. We've owned that for 30 years. It's a strong we, more like I was free labor. Now, as I've come back, having been in the construction world, management world, vendor world, I'm actively working on taking over that business here in the next 3 to 5 years. And that will be my primary project, my primary source of income. And then with Evolve, I'll really just stay as an accounts manager.
Yeah.
You know, like I do. Sometimes your phone rings 30 times a day and sometimes it rings 0
Yeah.
when you're just handling inbounds.
So, Air Force veteran, what got you to the point? Like, how did you get started in Evolve Egress, or actually Glass Block headquarters?
Yep. Is it appropriate to say just like a string of poor life choices?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Say what you want to say.
I bullied my parents to let me enlist at 17,
Okay.
like all good kids. But my parents' rule was if I was going to enlist early, it was going to be the Air Force. In hindsight, probably the best thing they ever did for me was not let me pick anything else but the Air Force.
Come on, man.
I'll put it like it is. I had hotel rooms, Trey.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this.
No, I know this.
We had a DFAC. Still had MREs, but our MREs were like name brand.
That's great.
No, so during the Air Force when I was young, got hurt, got out of the Air Force. I was a combat engineer, and all I did was build buildings stateside. I didn't have an exciting career. I didn't really do much. Most of the buildings I built have been torn down since I built them. There's really no legacy left.
Yeah.
Got out of the Air Force, went to college.
Okay.
I thought I was going to find the most complicated, exciting science career ever, and that was going to be the answer. Studied subterranean geophysics, minored in mathematics. Turns out that pays like 34 grand a year and took 5.5 years to get. But through college, I discovered a new style of leadership through the fraternity, through gaming groups, through clubs. That was a lot less military leadership, and it was a lot more relationship, like relationship building. We're in this together.
Right.
Community facing leadership, which I hadn't really been exposed to before. Fast forward, left college, needed jobs. So construction was always there. Started working construction. Pretty quickly realized I'm too beat up to do the work anymore. I've had too many surgeries, too many injuries, car crashes, varsity sports. So I got into sales, doing everything from insurance, which more power to insurance agents. I don't know how you do it day in and day out. It's a slog, but I'm here for it. Vendors, supplies, got into apartments and apartment managing. And every time I had a career, I wound up on the construction facing or construction supporting side.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, universe, I understand.
Yeah.
This is where I'm at. This is what I'm good at. Hopped in with Home Depot, did the pro desk for 3 years, just really cut my teeth on bulk inventory, bulk account management. Let's go. Did very, very well there. Left Home Depot to the tile shop. In 6 months was a general manager, moving down to Memphis to take over a store that was struggling. Ran that store for 3 years, did very, very well. And then started my own company.
Yeah.
Kitchen and baths. We did countertops and cabinets. We crushed it. And then one day we had a kid.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a blessing. It's fantastic. But about 6 months into having our daughter, we were figuring out what private school to send her to because the schools there were not good.
Yeah.
And we were like, why are we trying to raise a child where we have no support system, where we don't like the schools or the community, when we could just move home? So we came back to Ohio. Convenient timing. My parents were hitting that point where they're trying to figure out their next steps. My friend who owns Evolve Egress and Glass Block headquarters was looking for a sales director, someone to come in for a couple of years and help them establish their Columbus market, get that going, and build sort of a business to business account. And it just sort of worked out great. And then I met you against your will.
Yeah. So
Now we're friends.
what was your first day on the job like at Glass Block headquarters?
Weird. So my boss, Parker's fantastic. He's the owner.
Okay.
He's the younger brother of the two owners.
Gotcha.
And then their dad's sort of their advisor, vice president. He's very much like me, blunt to the point. Sales is stupid. Take it or leave it. This is what you need. I'm not going to worry about dancing around the bush.
Right.
And we got along great. Technical knowledge, technical sales. So shadowing him, I was like, I already know how to do this. Can I just go do my job?
Right.
But then it's like, well, there's a lot more to learn when
Yeah.
you specialize within a niche of a niche of a niche. So it was a great learning opportunity to really deep dive in a way that I hadn't had to before. Because even in kitchen and bath, there's niches there, but I had subs.
Sure.
When you are the sub, you have to know a little more volume than normal. So day one was just shadowing a kid, literally, who happens to be better at Windows than me, which I was also not used to. I was like, all right, let's go. And then by day 3, he was like, I don't need to shadow you anymore, go. And then, over the next 3 years, it's just been a lot of learning and trial and error and making small mistakes that are correctable or opportunities for education.
Any crazy stories that you've had involving like homeowners or a job or anything?
Oh,
like
there's
that?
so many, man.
Yeah. That's usually why I ask that
There's
question.
so many. If we skip the Air Force, if we look at the civilian world, everything from being at Home Depot, watching a guy try to steal like a 20-foot long beam from the parking lot in like an 8-foot trailer. And you can't do anything about it, but also he's not going to go anywhere.
Right.
Like architectural beams, when they're special ordered, sit outside because
Right.
no Home Depot can fit that inside. And it takes like 6 guys and a forklift to lift that. And there's just one guy backed up
Good
with a
luck,
trailer and was
man.
trying to shove it in an 8-foot trailer and drive off because it had a price tag on it of like several $1,000s. And we're just like cheering for him, like, you
Have a
do it.
nice time, dude.
Go for it, man. So there's always random pieces like that. But in this career, it's usually, the contractors are never the issue. I'm mostly with accounts, right? I work with homeowners, but my bread and butter is accounts, like referral business, like you guys,
Yeah.
or Zach McCrae, who was on here, and Near Me Roofing, and we have a great working relationship. But there's always going to be that crazy person. There's a little subsection of North Cincinnati that has like castles, like in a row, like slate roof, hand stacked stone, way too much money, but they're all like 150 years old and questionably decrepit.
Yeah.
And I met an investor there, and we're looking at rebuilding this building, and we're looking at the whole thing, and the building's like 1.4 million. He's got all this stuff, and then he hands me his budget, and he wants to do this entire historical home, which has to meet historical standards, and his budget is like less than I can buy junk windows at Home Depot. And I told him that, and he goes, no. He's like, I've been flipping houses my whole life. I know we can do it for this. And I'm like, cool. This isn't a flip house. This is like a multi-million-dollar historical home with
Right.
historical rules and permits. And I remember I was trapped by him. Like his van was blocking me in, and he was so mad at me. He just like wouldn't move. So I had to wait for the other contractors to leave so that I could finally exit.
People are wild.
So he like petty burned 3 hours of my day, and I blacklisted him. Shocking.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
But that's
choice.
probably the weirdest human. And then there's all sorts of stories that, just crazy people or whatever.
Especially with buyers going out looking at properties and listings, sometimes people will say that they have a room in the basement that's not actually a room in the basement.
Yeah.
What do you think most people get wrong about windows, especially as it relates to egress in that situation, or just in general with what you do?
Egress is probably the number one thing people get wrong, right? Because it's easy to tell, hey, my basement window's broken. Yeah, it's broken. Cool, great. My upstairs windows literally leak water. Yeah, they need replaced. But you could have a brand new build, like day one off the market, and not be code compliant for basement fire escape with a finished basement. We've seen it all the time. I won't name names, but there's plenty of new home builders that'll sell you a finished basement that is not code compliant for living space,
Right.
bedrooms, etc. So the things people get wrong the most, if it is a sleeping area, so a bedroom's the most common example.
Sure.
Each bedroom has to have its own self-contained egress.
Okay.
Because code says you need 2. So the doorway to the stairs is 1.
Right.
And then most homes aren't big enough to have like 2 flights of stairs on 2 different wings. So you need a window inside that room. That's the number one. Like we go to homes, they're like, yeah, this is the bedroom. The window's way over there. I'm like, it's not a bedroom then. I'm so sorry to tell you this.
Yeah.
The second one is the size. For whatever reason, the classification of egress is different below ground than upstairs.
Okay.
So in your first floor, you need a window that clear opens to 5 feet. Fantastic. Like 5 square feet when it's open. Basements need 5.7.
Okay.
So if you're buying a window as a DIYer, more power to you. We've had to go in and fix for real estate agents or flippers or homeowners who couldn't get insurance. They did a DIY project, went to like Arge or Lowe's or Pella or Anderson and bought a window labeled egress, stuck it in, and then it fails code in Ohio because it's not 5.7 square feet. And it's not really their fault. It's a single line in the state building code. So if you don't have that saved on your tablet like I do, why would you know that? But that's the biggest thing is to live in a space, you need an egress window.
Okay.
But the plus side is an egress window in the bedroom makes the rest of the basement count. So you don't have to buy 2 or 3 or 4. Like this isn't a $40,000 project. We're talking 7-8 grand on average, 12 to 15 for the big windows. And then anything past that, we're custom. Sure, I'll spend 50,000 if you want to do a 12-foot wide super window. Great, let's do it. But you don't have to. We can get this done for 7-ish grand on average with permits and make your home safe. And from a remodeler standpoint, it's one of the few projects that genuinely is profitable.
Okay.
Right? Like people tell you, remodeling your kitchen, you never make your money back.
Yeah.
Remodeling your master, you never make your money back, but it's nice, but you better enjoy it while you're doing it.
Right.
They say don't remodel for sale. Well, egress windows should.
Okay.
There's sort of a big 4 from a real estate agent side, which I know is a big part of our audience.
Totally.
Your front door, that's your first appearance. Your patio door or your back door. How many times have you been in like a $500,000, $600,000 house with a gorgeous kitchen, and then you have to lift and slide the patio door because they forgot to remodel it? And then the homeowners don't think about how gorgeous the kitchen is and how awesome the foyer was. They think about how crappy that patio door was, and they wonder what else is old and out of date that they're going to have to take care of when they buy the house.
That's fair.
So front door, back door. And then I tell everyone your basement windows, if they're nasty looking, if they're old and rotten, just put glass block in. I can do hoppers too, but glass block is so inexpensive. It's VA compliant, FHA compliant. We've actually had to do that for agents where they go, hey, I just failed VA. Please put 1 window in so I can close this house. Great, done. Here we go. But if you're a listing agent, hit those first. That's 3. And then the 4th one is if you see a window that's actually like fogged over, you need to get that looked at, either replaced or repaired, because it's going to raise other questions.
Okay.
So from the window side, that's what you do. And then, of course, everyone will have their own thing, right? Roofers will tell you if you see glitter on the roof, maybe get Zach up there to look at it. Your siding looks like this, get it looked at. But there's a small checklist that you could do to prevent, I'd say, difficulties in inspection.
Okay.
And caveat, if you're not doing FHA or VA, if you're conventional only, that's what as is for. But if you want to be an open property, you need to be aware that FHA and VA can hit you on stuff that you need to fix. Well, you know that more than me.
Yeah. What's one thing that you love about your job?
Oh, it's the people.
Yeah.
I get paid to build relationships with other professionals who share my values and dedication to customer satisfaction.
That's awesome.
And since I'm the one who makes the accounts, if I don't like you, we don't have to work together. It's a great system.
I think this is a really good response to what I'm about to ask you, because there's not a lot of people that I know, especially in my opinion, there's really not that many people that stand out at all that are in your industry specifically. While it is niche, I think that glass block and windows and all the things that you do are still around. I don't know who they are. And with that being said, like, what makes you different compared to the competition?
Well, the easy answer is me.
Yeah.
The competitors don't have me.
Right.
The other companies don't have me, or a lot of them don't even have a person like me. My job is accounts. I want to build a relationship with you, build a referral opportunity with different companies, different builders, different sources, and build partnerships. My job's to find those, solve the puzzle of how to make our companies work together, build a relationship that's profitable and rewarding for both sides, and go. And on the flip side of that, most people don't have the randomly diverse background in construction that I have. Good or bad, I did a lot of short-term jobs, long-term jobs, framing, tile setting, windows, masonry, new construction, historical remodeling, light commercial for the Air Force. I'm a questionably horrid welder, but I understand how to do it. I know how to do it. I can make
Yeah.
something stick till we can hire a
Yeah.
professional. You know, I've been described as a raging extrovert,
Yeah.
but to me, that comes across because I learned a long time ago, if you're going to network, just do it.
Yeah.
So I have no issues deciding I want to meet a company and then finding a way to meet that company, whether I'm going to events, whether I'm joining the organization they're a part of, whether I'm saying, hey, you work with this company. Who should I meet? Who's the person I actually need to talk to?
Yeah.
Maybe I go talk to the secretary 5, 6 weeks out of a year until they finally get tired of telling me no. Polite, professional persistence.
I think that that's one thing that I've grown to know very well about you is the fact that you're very intentional with the way that you network.
Otherwise, it's a party.
Yeah, and I think that separates you from everybody, to be honest with you. I don't care what industry you're in. There's so many people that are in it to party and have a good time, but you do things so intentionally, and I admire that about you a lot.
I
So,
appreciate it. You want to know the secret? Be really bad at it for 15 years. I work too much to go to parties, if I'm going to be blunt. So if I look at a networking event and I can't have a predetermined objective for being there, why would I want to go there?
yeah.
Right? I can go home and see my kid. I can go to work. I'm pure commission like most sales guys. There's nothing stopping me from going to a warehouse district and knocking on doors before winter and saying, hey, it's 1031 exchange time. It's tax write-off time. Let's take a look at property upgrades and depreciating value and see if we can't replace some of these windows with glass block this season. What's your quarterly expenditure? What do you need? I'll go knock on a bunch of random warehouse doors if I don't have the money that I need for my personal life,
Yeah.
and I'll find it. But I can't do that if I'm at a party. So when I look at a networking event or an opportunity like this, it's always weighed against time with my child, which is the highest variable,
Yeah.
and then revenue. And then now taking over my parents' company. Could I also be learning from my dad? Could I be shadowing there? Could I be changing paperwork there? Could I be throwing away the typewriter that I'm sure they still have in the background? Because they've been doing this since before I was born. But no, there's a lot to it. So networking is a skill in and of itself.
Yeah. So am I missing anything?
Professionally, no. I'm
Anything?
loud, I'm blunt, and I try to strike the line between professional courtesy and telling people the truth. Sometimes you just have to tell somebody no.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, man. Again, everybody, thank you for joining us with Local Legends and Cyle Pool with
I'm local. I don't know about legend, but I will take it.
Appreciate you, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Oh god, that's gonna be on camera. Oh
Well,
no.
let it have it. Leave the exit on too, Trey.
Oh no.
I thought we were going for the DAP.